We are going to introduce a new part of speech today, which is adjectives. Take a look at your vocabulary for this week. And I'll write some of these words on the board. What is an adjective?
When it describes a noun.
Good. A noun or?
Pronoun.
Very good. So it's describing a person, place, or thing, or like a word that's replacing that, like him, her, his, he, she. Those are pronouns. Now, out of this list, let me know when you see one that looks like it is a pronoun. I mean, not a pronoun, a adjective. Just start calling out adjectives from the list.
Horrible.
Okay, so that'll be one. Horrible. Got a nice rolled R in there. That's kind of fun to say. All right, what else?
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So, guapo. Couldn't remember which word for beautiful I had in here. You know what? I'm gonna space these out a little differently. Horrible. I'm gonna put in this column. All right. What else? Let's go from the top down so that I don't forget any.
Strong.
Good. So you can say these after me. Fuerte. All right. Next one.
Young.
Say it again.
Young.
Yeah, young. Good.
Weak.
Yeah, weak as well. So joven is young. Good. And débil is weak. So I would say débil. And joven, just so you know, can also be a noun. Like if you say un joven, that's like a young man or like, young person. All right, so joven, viejo would be the next one. I'm gonna put that over here. I would say viejo. That's old. All right, what about the next one? So pequeño is an adjective, little or small. Pequeño. Good.
Grande.
Yep, grande, big, that one's important. Pobre, which is poor, say pobre. Pobre has some kind of strange things about it, but we won't go into that now. Rich, rico. All right, difficult. How would you say that one?
Difícil.
Good, difícil, very good, Blanca. Because, first thing to remember, S sound, because it's followed by an E or an I. And then accent mark, difícil. All right, next one. See if you can pronounce that one for me.
Fácil.
Fácil, good. Accent there, so that's very similar to that one. Accented and the C followed by an I. What about happy? How would you say that? Feliz, good. Like Feliz Navidad and Feliz Cumpleaños. What is Feliz Cumpleaños, do you think?
Happy.
Good, and of course you probably all know Feliz Navidad.
Merry Christmas.
Yep, Merry Christmas. Literally like, Happy Christmas, whatever, but Merry Christmas. All right, this column is actually bigger. That's kind of crazy. What about sad?
Triste.
Triste, good. All right, ugly,
Feo.
feo. We already did guapo. Now we can do, yeah, that's not a hard one to remember. Excelente. Okay. And we did horrible. Two more. Inexpensive,
Barato.
barato. And then expensive.
Caro.
Caro. How's that different from carro?
Because you're not rolling your R's.
Good. Yeah, so this is one R, un R. So caro, as opposed to if you're saying car and it's C-A-R-R-O, carro. All right. So I spaced these out in two columns. Why do you think I did that?
Because the other column ends with O.
Yeah, very good. So, and in fact, let's go back and do some colors, because we can add more adjectives to this. I'll call out the English color. Did you guys enjoy doing the, or did it help you learn, I should say, the colors to do the Eric Carle book, the Oso Pardo, right? That's how they say it, Oso Pardo. Yeah. So, colors. What about blue?
Azul.
Azul, good. All right, green?
Verde.
Verde. Let me know if I forget any. Red.
Rojo.
Rojo. Orange. It's a long one.
Anaranjado.
Good. Anaranjado. Very good, Maria. All right, yellow.
Amarillo.
Good. Amarillo. Always makes me think of armadillo. Is there a double R or one?
I think there's
One. I think it's one, yeah. Good job. Okay, pink.
Rosado.
Good. Rosado. Purple.
Morado.
Morado. This is one that people got confused with brown a lot. Morado. And there were different ways of saying brown.
Pardo. Maroon.
Good. So we'll do pardo. I rolled that too much. And
Maroon.
marron. Very good. Actually, it doesn't need that, does it?
I think it does.
It does, because it's an N or an S is the thing that triggers the other way. Yeah, good. All right. And I think that was everything, right? Oh, no, we need gray.
Gris.
Gris, good. We also need white and black.
Blanco. Verde. Wait.
Verde, good.
No, that's
So,
green.
yeah, not verde. What's black?
Negro.
Negro, good. Blanco y negro. All right, that's all the adjectives we've learned, or will learn this week, if I remember correctly. All right, so let's review a little bit with nouns from last week. We can take a noun like oso, which is bear. And let's just do the kind of some sample sentences like we were doing before. So, veo, I see, which appeared a lot in the book, didn't it? Veo un oso. And tell me what's going on here. Why un oso? Why not una oso? Or something like that.
Is it masculine?
Very good, yes. So nouns ending in O are almost always masculine. Last week you had a list of exception words like, well, we had a lot of like ending in A that were masculine. That was an exception, like el dia. But anyway, veo un oso, what would that be?
I see
A bear, good. But if I say el oso, it's what? I see the bear, good. If I say veo los osos, what's that? The bears, yes. And if I say veo unos osos,
I see some
yep,
bears.
I see some bears. Very good. So this is how you treat a masculine singular and plural noun. Singular, it'll be un oso if it's a bear, el oso if it's the bear. What do you call this type of article? There's a name for these.
Masculine?
That is
Oh,
true,
wait,
yes.
No.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it from another angle. Definite and indefinite. So the definite article is going to be the. Just think it's definitely like the bear. But then indefinite, it's not as specific. That would be un. Because what's really more specific, a bear or the bear? The bear is going to be more specific. You're saying like the one bear as opposed to any bear when you're saying a bear. All right, that's an example, a review. Everyone feel pretty comfortable with that stuff? Hopefully from the exercises and everything. All right, we're going to work more on it in class, but with another layer of difficulty. So now we're going to look at feminine. Beo. This was a word that was missed a lot, so I'm going to do this one. Veo una ciudad. I'll come back to that one actually, come to think of it, because that one doesn't end in an A. Veo una casa. All right. Translation?
I see a house.
I see a house, good. And let's do I see the house. Veo la casa. What about I see the houses? I guess I kind of went out of order. Let's see, I see some houses. Unas casas. And I see the houses. Las casas. Okay. And now over here is a good example of like when you have something that's a masculine or feminine noun, but it doesn't end in an O or an A. Veo una ciudad. How do I, we could say veo la ciudad. Let's make it plural and have, yeah, so if we make it plural, unas, what?
Ciudades. Or ciudades.
Ciudades, very good. Always add es when there's an ending that's a consonant. Ciudades. All right, next one. Las ciudades. So I see a city, I see the city, I see some cities, I see the cities. Yep, so ciudad, city. That one was missed a lot. And if it was something that ended in a consonant and was masculine, you would just do the same thing using these. So everyone good with that? Before we make it harder? Okay. When you are dealing with adjectives in English, you say things like this. I see a green car. In Spanish, the sentence order gets changed. And so in Spanish, what you would be saying would be the equivalent of, I see a car green. What's the noun and what's the adjective in each of these sentences?
Noun. Green and car.
Yeah, and which one is which?
Green is adjective, car is noun.
Very good. And so most of the time in Spanish, what you do is you put the adjective after the noun it modifies. And I actually think that makes more sense because if you're trying to form a picture in your mind as someone is talking, like imagine they're talking really, really slowly, and they're just like, I see green, and then like until they say what they saw, you just have you're like, okay, a green what? Do you really have a good picture forming in your mind? You have an idea of green, you know, maybe in my mind it's like just kind of like a whole like screen of green color, but I don't know what's green. But in Spanish, it would be, you know, I see a car. You got a picture of a car in your mind, so you're at least kind of getting the idea of what they're saying, and then they'll say green, and then you can make it more specific. So I kind of like this better actually, the way Spanish does it. It helps you to track along better in a conversation, especially if someone's being slow, which is usually not a problem in Spanish. They tend to talk faster.
I like what I've been learning my whole life, and that's English.
Uh-huh.
I like English.
So if you had to learn, like if you suddenly, like if everybody just suddenly like lost all of your language, like you just forgot every single word, and you had to learn a new language from scratch, what do you think it would be easier to do, learning English or Spanish?
Spanish.
Vastly easier. Not even a comparison. I got kind of frustrated teaching English as a second language in Cambodia, and I was thinking, you know what, this language makes no sense. What if I was teaching Spanish instead? And then I realized some of these kids, I could teach them Spanish and call it English, and they would never know the difference. At least not for a while. Until like then, you know, the kids from this orphanage meet this orphanage's kids, and I've been teaching them Spanish. I've been teaching them like Latin, and then the third I could teach English, and then they'd all think they were speaking English, and they'd be very confused. But yeah, English is like the worst language. There's a couple languages that are more complicated. Probably more than a couple, but it's one of the harder languages because we're a conglomeration of like Latin and German and French and all these other influences that were pieced together and didn't really make sense. Even as late as Shakespeare's time, we didn't have standard spellings for things. You know, it's like 1600s, the language was still kind of being invented because, you know, it's just like so many new influences were invading it that there wasn't even a standard way to spell stuff. So it's part of how Shakespeare made up so many words. All right, so anyway, in Spanish, you're almost always going to reverse your adjective and your noun as compared to English. Exceptions will be like numbers and things like that, because numbers kind of work like adjectives, right? They're describing a noun by telling you how many there are. So if I say like 31 dogs, then it's giving me a description of the dogs, which is the subject. So numbers and adjectives of quantity will often come before, like grande will actually come before. But generally speaking, the order will be noun, then adjective. So let's translate this into Spanish. Can anyone feeling bold, like you want to translate I see a green car into Spanish? Yeah.
Wouldn't it be un?
Yep.
Veo un carro verde.
Very good. Veo un carro verde. Let's say, and in this situation, we have verde is modifying carro. You always have to know what you're modifying. And this is a masculine noun. So if this were, well, actually no, I'll save that for a moment later. Let's say veo. Let's say I see some green cars. I'm going to go around for these. So maybe let's start with, let's go in the back. Dante, any idea how you would say I see some green cars? You don't fully know this yet. I want to see if you can guess.
Veo unos carro verde.
Good. Okay, so veo unos carros. And here's the part you don't know yet. Verdes. Very good. Yeah, so you have the plural ending for the article. You have the plural ending for the noun and the plural ending for the adjective. And actually what you have is masculine plural for all three. Verde doesn't end in an O or an A, so it doesn't matter if it's modifying a masculine or a feminine word, it's going to end in an E. But we'll get to some that don't in a moment. I'm doing the easier version now, which is one you don't have to change. All right, so let's say instead you see some green llamas. All right, I'll say the green llamas. Any idea how to say I see the green llamas? And I'll let you know llama is still llama in Spanish. You just pronounce it llama, but L-L-A-M-A.
What were you trying?
Wait, what is it again? I see what?
I see the green llamas.
The green llama?
Veo.
Actually, let's make it blue llamas. I see the blue llamas.
Veo. Un.
But it's going to be the.
Oh.
And think about also what letter does llama end with? That'll help you. I see the blue llamas.
Unas.
Good, but it's the, so instead of unas.
Las.
Yeah, very good. Las.
Azules. Would it be azules?
Very good, yes, okay. So las, and then llamas, azules. So there's a few parts to this that you guys are having to account for now for the first time. You're dealing with the word order, llamas, azules. You're dealing with the fact that if it's ending in a consonant, like azul, with that L there, you got to put ES at the end. This one was just ending with a vowel, so you put an S at the end, but if it ends in a consonant, you write ES, just like with nouns. So veo las llamas azules. So feminine plural form, feminine plural form. I should say ending. And then this one is actually going to be an ending that's like neutral, but it's plural, so it'll work for a feminine noun. All right, let's do, we could do cars again, but actually, you know what? Let's do something else. Let's take a masculine noun that doesn't look masculine. In other words, it doesn't end in an O. So let's see, I see the purple, or how about this? I see the gray men. I see the gray men. Let's go to Cole. Juan Esteban, can you do that? I see the gray men.
What's men again?
Hombre is man.
I see the green man. or
Gray men.
The gray man.
Yep.
Veo
Now it's the,
yeah.
and it's
Veo
masculine.
los.
Very good.
Veo los hombres grises.
Excellent. Veo los hombres grises. Or, yeah, here we go. Ends in a consonant, so you add es to it. Very good. Yeah, veo los hombres grises. Okay. We've done an un and an unos. Let's do an una and unas. And then after that, we're going to move on to some from this side over there. All right. Okay. What should our noun be? Something feminine. Hmm?
Mujer.
Mujer, good. So I see and let's do one of these still. Let's say I see a happy woman. This one's good and hard. This one's very hard. Okay, veo. And how would we say a woman?
Mujer.
Good. But
La mujer.
una mujer, yeah. And we're saying that she is happy. Feliz. All right. Veo una mujer feliz. So this one's clearly feminine. This one is feminine but doesn't look feminine, and this one is also feminine but doesn't look feminine. Now let's say, here's where it gets hard. I see some happy women. Braden.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Sure. All right, maybe Bruno.
So I see some happy women.
Yep.
Veo unas mujeres. Wait. Yeah, mujeres.
Mujer, what's the plural? Eres,
Yeah,
good.
eres.
Eres.
Felisas.
Good. Now this, you may not know this, but this is wrong. Anyone know why? As in the spelling is wrong. Specifically the Z. Anyone know what happens when you pluralize a word ending in Z?
You change it to C.
Yep, change it to a C. Good. So that's what makes this one hard. Felices. So that's just something to remember. It doesn't happen that often, but here's some words. This means pencil. Lápiz, un lápiz, becomes unos lápices. Or if you have nariz, that means nose. What would the plural be?
Narices.
Yep. So you got to watch out for words ending in Z when you add that ES. Okay, so I think at this point, Carlos, you're up. You guys come up with one for him to translate. Give me an English sentence. I see something, and then use one of these. Don't use grande, by the way. Let's not do that one yet.
I see a difficult problem.
Good. Okay. And so that'll be, how can you translate that? Just do as much as you can. I see a difficult problem.
Feel
Veo? Yeah.
on this display.
So, yeah, so it will be difícil.
Yeah, like at the end.
And
Oh,
what comes first, difícil or problema?
problem.
Good. So give it to me again then.
Problem.
Problema. And would that be una problema?
On.
Or was it un? I'm trying to remember if it's an exception word. I always get tripped up on this one. It's a problem for me. I think this one's normal though. I think it's una, right?
I thought it was in. I mean, I'm not, but.
I guess that would be on the test you just took, right? The
I did not think that.
what's that?
Problema.
Where did I put it? It's somewhere in here. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, okay. So it is un. You were right, Carlos. Very good. Un problema. Yeah, it's one of those exceptions. Well done. All right. And Maria, can you make it plural? I see some difficult problems.
Veo unos
Unos. Yep.
problemas
Mm-hmm.
difíciles.
Yep. Very good. So this is a weird one because you've got masculine that looks feminine, a masculine that looks masculine, and a masculine that looks neuter. But whatever your adjectives are, they have to match your noun in gender, case, and number. Not case, sorry, that's Latin. Gender and number. So these are all masculine singular, and this one looks feminine, but it's actually a masculine word, and this one, you don't have to change the form depending on if it's masculine or feminine. So, all right, now, ready for something slightly different? We're gonna use this column. And this time, I'd like you to try doing this on your own after we do a couple of examples. So I'll just take volunteers for a couple examples. Instead of I see, let's say I, which is just there is, or there are. All right?
There are expensive cars.
Great. Very good. And let's say there are the expensive.
Yeah.
Well, we could say, let's do some.
Okay.
And how would you translate that?
Unas.
Cars.
Unos.
Unos
Oh,
carros.
Carlos.
And then expensive.
Okay.
Caro. Carros caros. That's almost a tongue twister. This is where, like, as beginning speakers, like, if you can't roll your R's, you would just confuse people, probably. Like, hay unos carros caros, but carros caros.
Expensive.
Yeah. There are some expensive cars. All right. What is that? Oh, that's something I'm going to ignore. He's afraid of the alarm. Okay. And we have, this one is great because it all makes sense. Os, os, os. But masculine plural, masculine plural, masculine plural. They're copying the gender and number of carros. Let's do a feminine one. And let's try to get one where all of them are going to end in A or AS. What are some of our non-exception nouns that ended in A?
La mesa.
Say it again?
La mesa.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Now let's say, do you want to say some or the or a? What do you want to do?
Some.
Good. I. So then what kind of mesas here for the article?
Unas.
Very good. Unas. mesas. And what kind of tables?
Old.
Okay, perfect. So what would that be? What is old out of that chart? You got it on your sheet that I handed you. Good. Viejo, but to make it, and it won't be os, it'll be,
Has.
very good, yes, viejas. So every single one of these that ends in an o, that's a masculine singular form. That's how they introduce the adjectives. They give it to you in masculine singular form. Feminine singular would be fea, vieja. So like una mesa fea, una mesa vieja, una mesa parda. But then you get into the plurals, and it'll be like unas mesas feas, unas mesas viejas, etc. So is that making sense? All right, so quick recap. You got an adjective that ends in a consonant. What do you do to make it plural? And good, you add it in, you just add an es. If you got one that ends in an e, what do you do to make it plural?
Just an S.
Good, and if it's one of those two categories, either ending in an e or ending in a consonant, do you have to change its form depending on whether it's modifying something masculine or feminine? Or can you just keep the same form for both genders?
Same form.
Yep. Over here, on the other hand, you're either using O, OS, A, or AS, depending on if it's masculine or feminine. So the O and OS for if it's modifying something masculine, the A and the AS if it's modifying something feminine. All right, any questions? Great, can I make up a bunch of sentences for you to translate on your own? Okay. And we'll see who can get the most right.
What's the bonus question translation?
Oh, you're talking about for the quiz that you just took?
Yeah. Is it museum?
Yes, museum. Good. Yeah, because we never translated it in class, but I did say that they are in a museum, and so I figured some of you would remember. Okay. I'll do some Bayo and some I. Actually, I'll do English to Spanish. All right, so I'll give you the English, and you do the Spanish. Making it harder. All right.
Harder?
Yeah. So I see some old banks. Number 2, there is, have I had to do tienda yet? Shop, tienda?
Yeah.
Okay. There is an excellent store. And some of these words are going to come from this vocab sheet. And then the others are going to come from, the other adjectives are going to come from the one I passed back, the checklist I passed back. Okay? I see the rich men there is a red dog. I see some purple houses. Let's see, we did a couple of those. Okay. There are the four cities. Well, let's not do that one. Let's do I'll just do this one. This will be a little bit harder. There are the little girls. That's probably enough, right?
Sure.
So pay attention to all three words. The article, the noun itself, and then the adjective. All three have to have the right ending.
We're supposed to do this on paper.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to collect it, but I will ask you your answers.
So this is not for a grade.
This is not for a grade. Just practice. But we will see if anybody can get them all right, or who can get the most. Let's give you another couple minutes. Sure. Actually, can you hold it for another 6 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, class is almost over, so. All right, everyone ready? Or ready as you will be? Give you another 30 seconds or so. Okay. Número, which is number, uno. What about, I see some old banks. Blanca?
Veo unos viejos bancos.
Good, except change the order. Unos bancos viejos. Adjective generally after the noun. Good. Unos bancos viejos. All right, what about, and you don't have to answer anymore. I want to get everybody to answer one. So if you don't volunteer early, you'll end up with a late one. So there's an excellent store. Dante.
Hay una excelente.
Very good. Hay una tienda excelente. You know what? How about everybody repeat these? So, for more practice.
Tienda excelente.
Good. Hay una tienda excelente.
Can I do the next one?
Sure.
Okay. Vio Rique Hombre.
Good. So, veo, and we need an article there.
El.
Good. I see the veo el,
Yeah.
and then it's got to be hombre first, and then rico. So el, it's going to match rico, and then hombre is also just masculine, even though it doesn't look like it is anything in particular. All right, everyone say veo el hombre rico.
El hombre rico.
Very good. All right, next one. Maybe
I un perro rojo.
very good. Hay un perro rojo. Notice I've said this before, but I roll the R's at the beginning. If you have rico, rojo, like if the word starts with an R, you can kind of roll it. But if it's just like one R in the middle of the word, then it's not rolled. Okay, everyone say, hay un perro rojo. Very good. Okay, I see some purple houses. Yes.
Veo unos casas morados.
Good. Okay, so veo unas
Unas
casas
casas moradas.
moradas. Very good. Okay, everyone, veo unas casas moradas.
Veo unas casas moradas.
Good. All right, last one. We have Bruno y Pablo. One of you can take that.
This is the only one I didn't finish.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have girls, but I have.
Oh, yeah. That's what makes it hard. So somebody else, how would we do girls? Yes.
Las niñas pequeñas.
Good. So niñas, because niño is like a little boy or a child, but if you make it feminine. So yeah, we have I, Hay, las niñas pequeñas. 2 words with ñes in there. Pequeñas. Everyone, hay las niñas pequeñas. Very good. Now we've got like 2 minutes left. And with that, what can we do in 2 minutes? Let's go through and say the plurals for some of these. So plural for azul, what is that? Everybody? Azules, good. Marrón, marrones, or marrones. Gris, grises, very good. Joven, jóvenes, good. Débil, débiles. All right, this is a little hard because the number of syllables. Difíciles, good. It still has that accent, so difíciles. This one? Fáciles. All right, this one? Felices, good. And what's funny about that one when you pluralize it?
Change to C.
Exactly. All right, then, let's just do the other ones, but, well, yeah, they're kind of easy. All right, you can back up. Not going to let you out till the bell rings, so good job today. Make sure you're real comfortable with that stuff. We'll review it next week, and then after that, we have an exam. All right, take care. Have a good week.
Right, Sam, you just need a small quiz.
What's that?
Right, Sam, you just need a small quiz.
There will likely be one. There usually is. But by exam you say. Okay, yeah. No, it's it'll be longer and pretty substantial.